Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new Coffee and Crypto Radix talk, or whenever we want to call it. I'm here today with Abanut. He's the founder from ShardSpace. It's a web page with a lot of tools. I remember when I first joined in Radix, the community in Radix, and launched a token. I was told, "Hey, you need to know this tool because it has so many things that it's very useful." The first one that I knew is the airdrop one that you can put with a CVS file a bunch of addresses and then do like simultaneous movements or transfers. But I think or not think, I see that it has so many more things over there. So I'm pleasure to have you here, Avanut. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks, BCD. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, I've been watching all your streams of late. You've been absolutely smashing it out. With it seems like one every day at the moment. So yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for accepting being here to speak about your project, about you, about crypto or Radix, about that right now it's snowing over there. So it's a crazy world. Well, it's winter still,
Mm,
right? So there's not
yeah,
not so crazy. So
yeah,
so first of all, can you tell me a little bit about you, Arnold, please? So do I get
yeah,
to?
yeah, certainly. So I've I guess, been in crypto since like 2015, 2016. I'd heard about, I think, Bitcoin years before that, but didn't really pay much attention. Um, had some kids around the same time as that Bitcoin was kind of launched, and it was like kind of a second priority, so I didn't really pay much attention. But then sort of 2015, 2016, sort of start to understand a bit more and studied. Obviously, do study the Bitcoin white paper, and then it's around the same time as Ethereum launched as well. So quickly sort of understood Bitcoin, and then looked beyond the Bitcoin, and then you saw Ethereum, and then there was Dash, and all these other sort of early sort of OG tokens and projects that came out at the time. um, and I kind of got interested, started more as an investor at that point in time, and sort of did a lot of research on the different projects and networks and what they did and what use cases and problems they're trying to solve, and then sort of I got stuck in there. And then um, around sort of 2020, I started the proof of stake ecosystem started to come out with, Ethereum proof of stake was being discussed, and Avalanche and a number of other networks were starting to deploy proof of stake networks and validators. And that's when I started to look at, right, well, hang on, this is potentially, I'm sort of working technology as background, and that's sort of most of my career. And I thought, well, I'm capable of running sort of nodes and validators, and so let's sort of dig into the sort of the passive income side of running validator nodes. And that's, one thing led to another, and I stumbled upon this new layer one called Radix that was just about to launch a Olympia BetaNet program. So the timing was great as far as, when I was looking into it, and when Radix Olympia was about to launch. So I quickly signed up for um, the BetaNet program, was accepted, and jumped on board to getting a validator node set up on Olympia. And that sort of snowballed from there. And I developed an earlier version of ShardSpace, which is called the Radix dashboard, the original Radix dashboard, not what you see today.
Yeah.
But that was very similar, but it was also fairly a lot more basic. Obviously, there wasn't any smart contracts, so it was more around sort of users sort of seeing more about the ecosystem, the tokens you hold, the validator metrics, etc. And obviously, we transitioned to Babylon, and I thought, you know what, the community is great, the technology is great, so let's go a bit more in depth on what what I'd like to contribute and be part of the community. So kind of scrapped the Radix dashboard, and that evolved into what we have today with ShardSpace, which is a bit
Nice.
more, obviously, full features, a bit more complex. So yeah, and obviously I
Yeah.
run the Avon staking validator node. I have done that for since the beginning.
Okay, so you made it sound super easy and simple, the to be like a node on different chains, but I think it's something really difficult, right? I mean, how hard is it
Mm.
to put up a node for different chains, and then for Radix, is there a difference between other chains and Radix, or it's pretty similar in that regards?
Um, yeah, obviously you need some technical knowledge, and some setups are easier than others. There are I have experimented with and run nodes on other networks. I think Radix is kind of in the middle as far as complexity and skill set. You need obviously run backup nodes, and you need to be monitoring and all that kind of stuff. And there are the next networks where it can be a lot more plug and play. I guess the
Mhm.
biggest, depending on the network, the biggest barrier to entry is sort of what validator stake or your own delegated stake that you may need to bond to actually get in the validator set, and that can, for some networks, that's could be nothing, or other
Okay.
networks can be
Yeah.
into the millions. So the technical aspect is maybe not so much the hard part. The hard part is actually you having enough stake to join the validator set most of the time. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. So you're a technical guy. Do you know how to develop on Radix or Scripto?
Yeah, so I've dug a bit into the development. So I guess my background is more sort of infrastructure technology,
Okay.
for big corporate banking and finance, etc. I have dabbled with a lot of the tools, the Scripto and front end tools, etc. And I built like the Radix dashboard, the original Radix dashboard. Um,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't say I'm a natural developer. I understand and I know as far as like a product development type thing, what I want to see and how I want to, the vision as such. But I do have a team of developers that a lot quicker
Okay.
and a lot better than I am as far as developing was concerned. So yeah. um,
Perfect. So let's talk about ShardSpace. So what is it? What is ShardSpace? What could you describe it, and what's behind everything on this project?
Yeah, so ShardSpace is your one-stop shop for Radix really. So it's a portfolio management dashboard, but that's kind of its primary focus for users, as if you're a user. But we also, as you mentioned earlier, delve into some more developer tools. So we have a token creator page. So we've got
Mhm.
simple token creator, advanced token creator, an airdrop tool. We've got a account explorer and a validator explorer. We've got an ecosystem page where you can look at the token metrics, account holders, the transactions for all the various tokens on the network.
Mhm.
There's some smaller features and a delegator calculator. We've got a news section, um, and we're the main, I guess, the main focus is around, say, that portfolio management, where you can see all the tokens across your accounts, all your NFTs, all your collections, all your liquid stake units, and also, the assets, hopefully presented in a nice sort of clear way that you can easily see all your assets in one, I guess, in one easy to view dashboard.
Okay, so that's, let's say, the main focus of ShardSpace is that the management of your assets on
Yeah,
Radix.
so yeah, correct. So you can so hopefully make it as easy as, so they allow users to send tokens from account from their internally within their own accounts, and we've got like a drag and drop feature there. So
Mhm.
when you're on the main dashboard, if you want to move assets between either your tokens or your NFTs or LSUs or LP tokens, we make it very easy just by dragging and dropping. So selecting the
Wow.
token that you want to move and just dropping it into another account. And then it gives you the option to either just send that as a single transaction straight away, or you can add it to what we have as a shopping cart as well. So you can sort of batch up multiple transactions in one go, and then when you're ready to submit the transaction. You can have like, multiple transfers, or you can put multiple transfers plus some staking transactions, and have a sort of like an Amazon type experience where you don't need to sort of like in the traditional Ethereum, sort of EVM world. You do a
Yeah.
transaction, then you submit it, and then you have to do the next one, then the next one, etc. Where obviously with the power of the Radix and the transaction manifest, you can create a shopping cart of multiple transactions to submit all in one go.
Nice.
Mm,
Yeah, I need to try those features because yeah, I only try the airdrop one, but those are really nice as well. So yeah, I have to check that out.
yeah, yeah. I was just as was I guess mentioned as well. We've got a new developer has just joined. He's just joined in the last couple of weeks, and he's got himself. He's learnt the ropes really quickly at ShardSpace and the code space. He's starting to work on an update to the shopping cart where we'll add more sort of traditional e-commerce type shopping cart features like saving, so submit and save for later, duplicate. So anything you see in the shopping cart today will be a bit more sort of feature rich over the coming days. So that's something that, excited to release as well.
Nice. So one question: when I was trying the airdrop feature, uh,
Mhm.
I had to go down as I think like 10 addresses to be able to use it.
Mhm.
Does it have like a max or
Yeah, so there is a template you can use, so you can manually
Mhm.
import so a list or like a CSV template, and it makes it easy just to add X amount of addresses um, and the amount you want to send. There is, however, it's a limitation on the Radix network about how many accounts you can send to in one
Okay.
transaction, and this is based on a technical thing called events. So um, the maximum you can send in one transaction is, I think it's 125 accounts or thereabouts. Um, that's assuming everyone already has that token. If they don't, if it's a brand new token that you're airdropping to users that would never have seen that token before, then the maximum is about 83 accounts in one go. So
Okay.
um, but again, we're looking at ways that we can, instead of a user having to submit or a developer having to submit multiple transactions at once, what we'd like to do is you could add 1,000 accounts and then
Okay.
ShardSpace, and the process would be, you'd have to still approval every single time, but it will make it a little bit slicker for everyone. So
Okay. So if for instance, in my case, that I had to drop to, I think 10, it was something different, right? I should contact support to see what was
Yeah, I
the
think the maximum, if assuming the user already has that token in their wallet or account, then it should say 120 odd, 125. I think the number is. Yeah, you should be able to do
okay.
that safely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I have a question here from Jimmy. He's asking, what about max NFTs at once?
So max NFTs are slightly more complex. I think it's 83 or 87 or something around that number. I can maybe just quickly look. But so NFTs are a bit more of a complex asset. So there's a bit more involved um, in those transactions.
Okay.
Let me just the actual numbers. If you go to the airdrop page, if you look at the numbers, so yeah, so 80 NFTs. The maximum is 83. The minimum is sorry, the absolute maximum is 83, but if assuming none of the users have that NFT already, then it would be 62. So
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for answering those two questions. So, why did you develop something like this in other network, or Rix is the first one where
No,
you?
this is yeah, exactly. This is the first time. So I I have created a website as part of a university degree. I did a open uni degree I did a couple of years ago, and the end of that degree, I went through the process of developing a product, a website, sort of going through the business case, etc. So I had sort of experience in, bootstrapping a project as such. But this is the first time, the first sort of major project that I've kicked off. It's all self-funded. Well, there is grants, obviously, but there's no sort of VC investment, etc. It's all funded from my own savings as such. And yeah, the reason I guess I've got so involved in it is because I just the Radix tooling, the Radix environment, the safety, the experience of being working in the Radix community, and hoping to, I guess, give something back to the community as far as a tool that they can obviously enjoy and use. And just to see, we're excited to really see where it goes. We've got lots of sort of new features and ideas and thoughts on where we can take it and what tools we can, or features we can add. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, right now, do you have any competition in Radix, or I think you're the first one, but is
Mm.
there like another project over there?
I think there are projects or other products that offer similar tooling. Like obviously this, things like staking. We offer
Mm.
staking services, and there are other simple token creators. I think we're the only one who really offers what was the most fully featured advanced token creator. So token creator and token manager allows you to create very complex advanced tokens, and then you can swap the permissions around who can mint, who can burn. So we've probably got the most fully featured token manager.
Mm.
We offer swap features as well. So obviously you can trade. I forgot to mention earlier is you can do basic AMM swap. So partnering with Astral Ascent, you can
Mm.
using their Astral and APIs, you can do your basic token swaps. We've also got the limit order, partnered with AlphaDex to provide limit orders. Um, um, and so that, I guess, Dexter is one of the other projects that uses the AlphaDex backend. So we can, I guess, competitors as far as that specific feature on ShardSpace, but we obviously offer a lot more across the whole
Yeah.
range of, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have so many different features that it's hard to say, yeah, this is my main competitor, because uh, uh, all of them, they have a piece of it, right? So that's why you
yeah.
were saying it's like a toolkit to use ShardSpace. So yeah,
Mm.
that's amazing. And I guess you keep looking with your dev team to look for more tools to be added later on.
Yeah, so a couple of the sort of the key things we're looking at coming up. So we're looking at the Maya integration, um, and we're also obviously Intents and Anthic is obviously is quite new, but so we'll probably wait and see how that progresses and see what we can do to potentially integrate. Definitely Maya and cross-chain swaps is a key thing on the roadmap. We've got a few other things we sort of backlog of sort of features and bugs and UI updates that I wanted to get out before we really sort of do the buyer piece, which is a larger piece. But the other the other big key feature is more of a DApps, so portfolio management again, but more on the DApps ecosystem side. So we do have some very basic integrations with WEFT. So from your portfolio, you can lend to WEFT directly so if you've got XUSDC or XRD, XETH, etc., you can lend those directly to WEFT V2. You don't particularly have to go to WEFT to use their features. And then you can obviously withdraw from WEFT as well. So, but so that's sort of very basic kind of integration. What we'd like to do um, is have a bit more of a strategic kind of solution for all the dApps, or all the majority of dApps that we can support from a dashboard. So if you have a particular position in an OC swap pool or a caviar pool, or you're lending on WEFT or Root or whatever, that you'll be able to at least be able to view your position in each of those dApps, and where possible, add liquidity, remove liquidity, lend, borrow, add collateral, etc. So
Mhm.
It's been more of it's quite a complex piece of work, but it's one where we've got the design for and a working prototype of that. Now it's just sort of getting the momentum up to sort of deliver it now. So yeah.
So to be like the go-to place to do everything you want to do in Radix, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that is a grand ambition. I don't particularly want to, I guess, boil the ocean as far as everything you can do on Radix, but I think there is some key sort of portfolio management tools
Mhm.
that are very useful. I think if you look outside of crypto, or outside of Radix, there's tools like Zapify, and on Avalanche, this thing called the Core App, which is a very sort of strong, powerful ecosystem tools where you can sort of see your assets and where they're being used, and the yield you're earning on one tool instead of having to go to multiple different apps.
Yeah.
You should be able to see a lot of how you're performing from ShardSpace. Um, I guess that's the sort of the vision as such. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm,
always good to have a place where the summary is over there and you can really take a look at your portfolio. Because so if I connect, for instance, if I have two or three wallets on one persona, as it called on wallets
mm.
Radix, uh, do I have to? If I connect one wallet, I will only be able to see that wallet, or there's a possibility to add um, more
Yeah, you
wallet.
can add. Yeah, so when you use the Radix Connect and you first log on to ShardSpace through the wallet, it will ask you which accounts you want to add, and obviously you can add and remove accounts as you need. But yeah, that's it follows the same kind of patterns as all the other dApps as far as
Okay,
logging on and choosing accounts. Yeah, yeah. Obviously,
perfect.
the more accounts you have, the more powerful, I guess, ShardSpace becomes of being able to have that sort of single snapshot view straight in front of you of all your accounts and where your assets are and the value across all accounts and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And right now, is there like, for instance, I think in Cardano, I don't recall where, but there was a tool similar that you could have like your all your assets and how they have been behaving, if you're up or down or
Hmm.
whichever. And in order for it to allow you see more and do more things, you need to have like an NFT of that project. Do you have something like this here on ShareSpace, or is there a projection to do something?
Yeah, so that probably falls into the sort of this dApp ecosystem page we want to create or feature.
Mm.
So if you do, yeah, if you, exactly that, if you do have a position and you get like a, a an NFT, say from staking FOMO or staking it, um, then yeah, we should be aiming to try and show you what your performance is for that asset or that dApp. Um, some of the like Weft has what we call Wefty NFTs or badges, and that sort of
Mhm.
gives you a position, should show you a sort of a valued position where you are. Um, and so yeah, look, the idea is to sort of integrate those features, show you any sort of valuable asset that you have in the ecosystem, whether it's a single token or an LP token or LSU or a NFT that represents a financial sort of collateral position or loan or whatever, that we aim to sort of eventually have a calculation or a value of that asset.
Okay, yeah, that would be very helpful as well.
Mm.
So, are you thinking or trying on the future to add more chains on chart space, or it's gonna be only Radix?
I think you know what I don't I think Radix is has some of the best technology in the market
Mhm.
today. I think it's people feel comfortable. I think one of our key things is there's a lot of technology and a lot of platforms and dexes and yield farms and all this is very complex. It's very for crypto degen focused and it's not for not for normies, shall we say. So I'm trying to, I guess, make Radix a bit more sort of normified, where it has all the sort of those crazy, very sort of crypto native tools, but it hopefully makes it a bit more user friendly for non-crypto native users, about things like the shopping cart, things like the drag and drop, and other sort of sort of portfolio features. And I think that kind of experience is only really possible on Radix, and trying
Mm.
to sort of emulate ShardSpace with the shopping cart is just not going to work on any other platform, or it's going to be a lot more riskier for the users. So no plans to sort of copy ShardSpace or build it on other platforms. I don't think it would do any justice to to have that.
Yeah,
So I want our
I
users
think.
to feel safe and and feel comfortable using ShardSpace and the Radix network. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're used to that, to be multi-chain and all that stuff, but because of the EVM, so it's, let's say, easier
Mm,
to move from one chain to another. But I mean, Radix, it's completely different, right? So it's another completely programming language, and the logic is different. So yeah, it's not as easy as it is in other chains. So yeah, but I just wanted to ask, but I think that I knew I knew the answer already. But
mm,
yeah,
mm,
and about security. So uh, every time that you are connecting your wallet to a site, there's always oh, I'm a little scared that I'm gonna or this site is gonna do something with my funds or everything. I think Rix is different in that regards. But
mm.
what can you tell me about security and how people should not be afraid to connect on ShardSpace?
Um, yeah, I think so ShardSpace. Obviously we're leveraging all the standard Radix features. So
Mm.
if you're comfortable using any of the other Radix dApps and ecosystem, then you should feel comfortable using ShardSpace. Um, I think obviously for anyone new to crypto, um, you know, wallets and seed phrases and creating backups and all this kind of stuff can be quite scary. And obviously I think the Radix team have done an amazing job to try and simplify that as much as possible. When the new MFA update comes out and we kind of remove the need to have store seed phrases or even know what seed phrases are, that's just going to be take it the security and sort of safety to another level. And then in ShardSpace, um, the user is always in control as far as what they're doing. So if you want to send or use stake or swap, you're the one that's initiating that transaction. Um, there was I'm not sure if you've seen, but there was an update from Matt just in the last sort of hour or so, where they're making more improvements to the wallet and the transaction manifest, and what type of transactions appear and how they appear in the wallet. So it's only going to get better and better as well.
Yeah,
Um, and so, you know, hopefully all the transactions that users perform on ShardSpace will eventually be as clear, concise, using the sort of the nicely formatted UI, and there won't be any sort of complex looking transactions, and it'll be all very safe and human readable for everyone.
mm, perfect. Very good. So there's a question here from Jimmy. He wants to know what you learn shilling Radix on X, what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, Jimmy. I think shilling is an art form in itself. I think it depends where you are in the cycle, as far as where your network is. If you're, if shilling Ethereum or Bitcoin versus shilling an unknown network, you can't, I guess, use the same tactics as what you would. And, everyone, someone shilling Bitcoin, like not Michael Saylor, but someone like Michael Saylor shilling Bitcoin has a lot more of an impact, and people believe that sort of account, rather than someone like myself shilling Radix that not a lot of people have heard about. So I think there's it's it's certainly an art form. I think you have to be careful about not, I guess, denigrating other networks as well. And maybe I've gone through kind of that phase as well, where you're saying, your network is shit, and my network is great, and that's maybe not the right approach to do that. I think you know you have to kind of have, if you obviously there is sometimes valid critique in what a network does or what a network does badly versus what your network does. And I guess if you're trying to shill, you know, shilling a token is also different from shilling a technology in a network. So anyone sort of can shill a token is going to go to the moon, and it's the next big 100x or whatever. And I guess I'm not in that kind of bracket. I'm more focused around trying to highlight the technology to the wider crypto audience, and why the Radix technology is great and what it means across so many different, why it's safer, why it's more secure, why the DevX is better, and why the UX is better. Um, I guess I hope it can be a tough kind of sell as such, coming from a say smaller account, but I guess when you're passionate about Radix and you're passionate about the technology, um, I think it's a message worth selling, or telling people, regardless of how hard it is and how much you have to do it. I think it is such a, and once people kind of catch on and use the technology, even if I could shill it 100 times, if only one person actually takes action from that and discovers and comes across Radix and starts downloading the wallet, etc. That's a good result for me. So
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer in the technology. I'm a strong believer in what the vision that Dan, Piers, Matt, Russ, everyone in the team and the community has about Radix. So, I think it's a story worth telling, and I try to tell that truthfully, and I try to tell it, um, as best I can. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, talking a little bit about my experience with Radix and my audience, I get a lot of comments asking, "Why are you shilling Radix?" Because you can tell, look at this, all these good things for the tech, but at the end they look at the chart and everybody says, but something should be super wrong because the chart is continue to go down. So it's
Mm,
hard to shield a project, even though that the tech is good and the community is good and everything that you try, you like it. But if the chart doesn't go well, it's super hard to chill, and it happens
mm,
on the bear market, right? On the bear market, I've been on one bull market and two bear markets through my journey here in crypto. And
mm,
on the bull market, when all the altcoins are pumping, man, you're the king. Everybody loves you, and
mm,
you get all these good comments and all that stuff, and it's super easy to chill anything because everything pumps. But when
mm,
it's dumping, it's all the other all the way around. So
mm,
everybody's is mad, everybody's hating. So yeah,
mm.
I think it depends on the timing, on where every project is, and which project you're chilling. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's not easy, but if
it's
you
not
believe
easy.
on something, then you need to keep on that one.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, everyone's a genius in a bull run, aren't they? They've got,
Yeah,
I predicted that, I predicted a 10x, and that's pretty much what everyone can
look, it
do.
happened.
But no, exactly. And I think, regardless of where we are in the cycle, whether it's a bull, bear, or traveling sideways, my firm belief in the technology and vision hasn't really changed. It can be frustrating because you see, the potential, what you see in the potential of Radix, what it's capable of, and compare it against, the likes of some meme coin and what it's doing in the market. That is super frustrating. But you just take a step back and saying, if we're really serious about this, and crypto actually making a difference to society and technology and finance in the future, Radix has definitely got one of the best shots at making a significant change. And I think it's just a case of when, but not if, personally. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your, let's say, the strongest things that you see on Radix that keeps you here and keeps you chilling and pushing for Radix, even though that is not doing very well? But what
Mm.
are those, let's say, strong things that you say, yeah, I'm staying here because of this?
Yeah, I think again, say the vision. I'm very much say a technology person. I wouldn't have started ShardSpace. So we don't obviously have a token. We don't, we earn the income we're earning is off sort of the feed generate from various services that have on ShardSpace. We do eventually want to introduce a like subscription service for ShardSpace, but that's sort of way down the line, so to speak. But yeah, I wouldn't have built ShardSpace if I was just purely in it for the money, or I would have released a token that try to monetize the brand as such. So ever since I first discovered crypto and understood what Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other projects, and now Radix I'm a firm believer in the technology, what it can do for society in general, and the lives of everyday people. And that's, I guess, I want to be part of that sort of story as such, either a very small part or hopefully potentially a very big part. And that being that, I think Radix has got the potential to be a big part of that story. So yeah, that's a bit of a long-winded answer for the first point. I think the community as well. So the technology, the community, the Radix community. Um, I think a lot of people call it the top one community minimum. I think it is, really is. I think through Bull Bear, there is a lot of passionate and really solid community members. There's people from all different sort of countries and nations, and there's
Yeah,
people who offer so much to the experience, and it's I know can be some frustrating sort of conversations on the channels, but the community is what makes Radix, first and foremost. So yeah, um, and then sort of I think, so technology community. Um, I think just kind of being part of something bigger than of
yeah,
just want to have that see that sort of vision of something that we're contributing now has got such a can play such a big part in how society develops in the long term. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's a very good point. Because even though that rights being here with different names and everything, I think they start developing this since 2013, as far as I know.
Mm,
And it seems, I mean, it's a long time, right? A lot of development and investigation and mistakes and everything. But
mm,
it feels like we're really early on the on this movement of Radix, on this chain that, as you said, can be a big part of the next evolution of us as a world right now, with everything that is going on
mm,
the cryptocurrency world, with US, Russia, China, every country right now looking at us differently versus the previous years. So yeah, it's been
mm,
part of something that seems like it's gonna be a very big thing, and being on the inception, let's say, on the first steps. It's something that I think it's worth to spend time and spend money and do whatever, right, to make it, or to help to put a little thing there to help
mm.
this to move to its potential. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think yes.
yeah. I think which is if I've sort of kind of got this sort of personality, I guess. When I see something, I do so, well, sort of got a passion for something, I kind of won't let go until I've sort of
Mm,
achieved a kind of an end state as such. So whether it be learning some new technology, a new skill, or being part of something as big as ShardSpace and Radix, it's sort of like, right, I have a vision and I want to give it my all. or come hell or high water. So yeah, that's what it may end up being, a bad decision in the long term, and 5 years from now we don't know where Radix and crypto is going to be in general. But I'm
Yeah.
going to give it my all until otherwise. So yeah,
Yeah, no, nothing is a given, and we never know what's gonna happen at the end. Maybe tomorrow there's a meteorite or something hitting the earth, or whoever, right?
yeah, yeah,
I get asked the question for the normies, for the people not in crypto. But what happens if we lost electricity on the world? What is gonna happen with your crypto? Same thing that is gonna happen with your money, right? So
yeah. Yeah, I think there's bigger problems if the world's electricity supply gets knocked out. Then I think there's going to be bigger problems than crypto. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
so
but
it's like this the quantum thing that just happened on now in December.
mm,
Everybody's freaking out. Oh man, we're gonna be losing over Bitcoin and crypto, etc.
mm,
But I think for what I've heard, it's still years on the making, and whenever that happens, I guess all the security for the blockchains are gonna improve. But
mm.
it's the same thing, right? Is uh, if someone with bad intentions get that technology, I don't think they're gonna go for Bitcoin. They're gonna go for something bigger that
Yeah,
is out
yeah,
there.
yeah, true. And I think people are very obviously. There's a lot of smart people in the world who, for every time, it's a bit of a, I guess, a game of leapfrog. Someone develops an exploit or a technology, and someone either tries to patch that exploit, or someone develops a new technology and people try to exploit it. So there's always a game of leapfrog and cat and mouse
Mhm.
between the two technology, sort of competing forces as such. So I think as I think Matt and the team said, the team can upgrade, the systems to support quantum secure signatures, etc. And it's not something, as you say, it's not something we'd have to really worry about for the next couple of years. But I think we kind of, yes, you need to think about the future, but you also need to sort of focus on the moment as well, and what is happening
Yeah,
now and today. So yeah.
yeah. So what do you think, or how do you feel with Radix this this start of this 2025? What are your views on the network?
Yeah, so I think it's super excited. I think there's a lot. There was the first hyperscale, or the first smaller scale hyperscale test last night.
Mhm.
So we kicked off with I think it was probably about, I think 50 or 60 nodes that joined, maybe sort of 20, 30 people that joined, and that was the first. There has been some smaller scale closed group community test, and this was the first one where it opened up to a wider group of users on the hyperscale Telegram group. And you know what? Actually, I think myself included, everyone was very surprised of how successful it was. There's a lot could go wrong. There's a lot of different configurations. People using Macintosh and
Mm.
Linux devices and Windows devices, and there was a few sort of few kind of bugs and things, but not at the scale that anyone, I guess, expected. So really, first great positive hyperscale test. There'll be probably another one a bit bigger, a bit, a few tweaks, a few changes in the next couple of days, which will, again, sort of just keep on building up to the final main community test, hopefully in the coming weeks. Um, the, the other super exciting thing I'm itching for is the MFA update. I think that for me is, from a user experience and user onboarding kind of process, that is sort of the last piece in the puzzle. And that, for me, once that's there, it's a case of sort of really showcasing to people within crypto and outside of crypto about the Radix wallet, and how sort of the smoothness and how safe you can feel with using the technology.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously, Anthic and sort of
Yeah.
the new dApps and services that are coming. I would add as well, there's another project I'm working on with a couple of other developers in the ecosystem, and we had to put it on pause for a while, but we're starting to pick it up again. So you should see, sort of in the next 2-3 months, you'll see another product being released by myself and, say, a couple other devs then in the ecosystem. So look out for that one as well. So, but yeah, so there's and that's kind of, I guess, aside from the Radix specifically, but yeah, Anthic and what that brings, and the technology, and the um, sort of the benefits it brings to sort of the more trader side of crypto, the speculative traders, the guys who like to um, trade on the top assets. This is going to be a real game changer. I think it's going to,
Yeah.
obviously tested some of the technology on StokeNet, and yeah, we're getting real close for that as well now. So on mainnet. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, good things to come. I think on the first quarter he's gonna be filled with different things, and uh,
Mm,
start seeing things happening right on Radix, and see how it progress. Also with the general market and everything, and Donald Trump getting into the house, and everything that is gonna uh, happen with that going on.
mm, mm,
Different countries right now doing the same thing, and Canada right now also looking like he's gonna have a good prime minister pro crypto. So yeah,
mm.
things are
Things are
happening with.
changing. Yeah, the tide is turning. I think crypto it's for whatever reason, a lot of politicians and industry people have tried to downplay it, and it's a fraud and it's a scam, and unfortunately there is
Yeah.
a like anything that anyone will try to take advantage in the early days, but then I think I'm seeing I just see the positive sides of what crypto can be and what it can give to society and the community. I think talking about what the future holds for Radix and I guess crypto in general, stable coins are going to be massive this year. I think, obviously we've got, I think Piers sent an update in the last couple of days around, um, they're going to, Maya are going to introduce a USDT to
Mhm.
XUSDT bridge so you'll be able to, instead of transferring or doing cross-chain swaps from, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana to XRD, you'll be able to sort of do a straight stablecoin transfer or bridge from USDT
Yes.
to on the Radix network. And then the other side of things is there's a partner agreement in principle signed with another stablecoin issuer. So I guess it would be a US dollar, could be a euro, could be euro, maybe pound, but I guess it's a US dollar stable coin that will be issued on the Radix network. So that's also going to be massive as well. So looking to see what happens there. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting times to be alive and to be in Radix. I mean, to be on the crypto. I mean, if you're in crypto, you're ahead of a lot of people, and if you're in Radix, then you are smarter. I'm just kidding.
No.
No. So, what are the main goals for this year for ShardSpace?
Um, I think mention some of these sort of areas. So the couple of the key features that the Maya integration we want to get done. The dApps ecosystem page is quite a big one as well, and I think that will drive a lot of utility and benefit for us and obviously the wider ecosystem. Um, I think we also just want to continually make it better. So whether it's a new, improving the UX and the UI, just keep on reinvesting in the platform really, and get the feedback from the community. Um, and just obviously I mentioned we've got another product which is kind of, would say it's a sister product, exactly a sister product to ShardSpace, but it will have some sort of a bit of crossover as well. We may integrate some of those features into the ShardSpace platform as well. So yeah, it's just really just keep on improving ShardSpace, adding more features, adding fixing the improving the UI, improving the experience, leveraging as much of the sort of the Scripto and the Radix technology as much as possible. Just seeing where it can take us, I think. So
Perfect.
no, super excited. I think there's a the way the Radix stack of technology, the transaction manifest, and everything that is in the subintents and account lockers and all this kind of stuff that is quite unique on Radix. There's so much we can sort of build into ShardSpace that you just don't find anywhere else on any other network. So it's going to be, yeah. So just seeing where really is it just a bit of a blank canvas as such. We just take it anywhere we want. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something amazing about Radix. When I was speaking with Andres Leon, that is a adept, that we're doing a series of videos to teach the start of on scripto, so like a scripto for beginners,
Hmm.
and he was telling me, you can ask me for almost anything. Think outside of the box, and
Mm.
ask me what if we can do X crazy thing on Radix, and most likely is gonna be able to, or we're gonna be able to do it. So yeah, that's something that I guess you cannot hear anywhere else.
Mm.
So
I think,
that's
yeah,
that's
exactly. I think, well, it's the case of being able to do any sort of use case that exists in crypto can be done on Radix, and can be done, um, I guess a lot quicker, a lot better, and a lot safer way as well. One of the examples was when,
mm,
so the ERC 404 craze about maybe 6 months ago now, and how that was a big thing about, a token standard where you can sort of divide the NFT up into smaller chunks, and that was something that took, the developers over a year to sort of build, and that was created by Austin in the community, effectively over a weekend. Um, and and that was just one small use case. So well, not small, but it was
or
on
the
the
account
on the
deletion.
on the EVM side, it was massive use case, but on the Radix, it was a fairly small kind of effort. So, but yeah, it is mind bending how powerful, the Radix stack is.
Yeah,
And I guess we're
yeah,
only really starting to just scratch the surface on what's possible. So yeah.
perfect. I love it.
Mm.
Okay, Avanut, I don't have any more questions. I don't know if you have anything else to add, or any question that you have as well.
Yeah, I guess question for you is what's your sort of, I guess, year going to be like? What's happening for BCD and Radix CTO?
Oh, well, for BCD, I mean, we're doing a lot of content right now.
Mm.
I've been saying, I used to be doing the regular job, the 9 to 5, oh, well, 12 hours job, regular, by 2022, 2023, 2024. And I just got released from that on late December. So now I'm full on crypto again. I was full on crypto before, but I've made some bad decisions and some mistakes, so I have to go back to work. But now also,
Mm.
again, full on crypto, so doing a lot of content. I wouldn't say 100% Radix, because I mean I'm a content creator, so I speak about crypto in general. I check
Mm.
different altcoins. I'm a TA guy. I'm a technical analysis guy. That's what the life has bring me to, and I really like it and enjoy it. Also, I like to review the projects and go more in depth, so see what is behind the projects, etc.
Mm.
And I do some of that on the channel as well. But just trying to do, or get to know a lot of founders on Radix, because when I first joined Radix on the community, I found also a very good welcome, and I think that I want to give back to the community, just bringing this kind of talk, kind of chats with within my channel, within my social media. And even though that I'm a Spanish, let's say, channel, but I mean right now we're mixing a little bit with Spanish and English, and sometimes, for instance, yesterday I was speaking with Adam on a coffee and crypto, and
Mm.
I translate that with AI. Right now AI is doing a lot of good things, so I translate to Spanish to for the people, for my community, also to get a grab of that. So
Mm.
within BCD, that's pretty much what I'm doing, trying to do my little thing to bring Radix to more people, right?
Mm.
And from CTO, right now we're just developing or creating the web page. We're working, as I mentioned, with Andres Leon. He's a dev from Spain. We're right now working on a collection, NFT collection for the OGs. It's gonna be a free mint for the, let's say, the star, the first guys that are pushing for us. And it's basically CTO is like what I like to see is, you mentioned before that it's not good to speak bad about other networks, right? Even
Mm.
though that we think Radix has better features versus other things. So I feel the same way in my in BCD, right? So I cannot go and bash Solana or
Mm.
Cardano or anything on BCD, because I mean, is not what I really think of those networks. But CTO is more like an aggressive guy that just speak trash out of other networks, trying to say, hey, this is why Radix is better, but just in a funnier way, right? So that's
Mm.
like my other ego that I have, and I use that character just to push that message to the world. So trying to push from both sides right now, and that's
Mm.
pretty much it. We're gonna be developing more things, and with this is crypto for beginners. My background is IT engineer, uh, long time ago, so I wanna learn crypto. That's why I asked Andres, can we do this for everybody that want to learn? We're doing it
Mm.
in Spanish, and then I translate to English, because I think it can help a lot of people. You never know, right?
Mm.
In
Mm.
something like that can be a start of some person to become a developer and then change your life forever. So, but first, and more like for myself, I want to learn it so I can start developing as well.
Oh,
And
good. Oh,
that's
good
it.
to hear.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, doing
Yeah. Good luck.
doing stuff over there. Yeah, to bring back to the community.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm being sick for.
Oh,
I was sick on the beginning of December. Then I got well, and then
mm.
my kids. I have 4 kids, and then my kids got sick, and now I'm sick again. So it's like a circle that
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah. It's just
doesn't
the time
end.
of year, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I hope you
So
feel better soon. Yeah.
yeah, it's okay.
Mm. Mm.
So it was a nice time. Thank you very much, Manu, for uh, separating this time for your day. I see that you are a very busy man, but thank you
Mm.
very much for
Appreciate it. Well,
accepting.
no, thank you.
Also,
Yeah.
thanks for being here on video, because not everybody likes to do that. So thanks for being here, because it's always better to speak with someone versus just
I
a
like it.
picture.
Yeah. No, that's pretty. No problems. Well, thank you again. Thank you for inviting me, and yeah, and thank you for everything you're doing with the Radix community, and yeah, good luck with all your plans for the year. So yeah, looking forward to seeing
Thank you.
how it evolves.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching right now live, or whenever in the next hours or days. Thanks, and let's keep pushing on Radix. Bye
Cheers.
bye.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, let me